Today I'm going to talk about The Great Escape from 1963. The film's based on a book from 1950 written by Paul Brickhill. It's a non-fiction book about actual escape. The film's just loosely based on this book, so it's not historically accurate. It was produced and directed by John Sturges. The film's set in late 1942 and is loosely based on true events. And it has a massive cast. Steve McQueen, James Garner, Richard Attenborough, James Donald, Charles Bronson, Donald Pleasence, James Coburn, David McCallum and plenty of others. Even William Russell pops up. Hey, that bugger's Ian Chesterton out of Doctor Bloody Who. That's right, Bones, this was just before Doctor Who. It has iconic music from Elmer Bernstein. Runs 172 minutes. That's just under 3 hours. It cost $3.8 million to make, but it made a staggering $11.7 million back, which was one of the best high-grossing films of 1963. And that was a good year for films making money. It got an Academy Award nomination for film editing, but it didn't win it. However, Steve McQueen won Best Actor for the Moscow International Film Festival. It was filmed in Germany, and it's famous for its bike stunts. There was a sequel in 1988 called The Great Escape 2, The Untold Story. This was a made-for-television production. So this film's really interesting. It's like an adventure, suspense, war film, the prison genre. It reminds me a lot of the film Escape from Alcatraz from 1979 with Clint Eastwood in, where he's trying to escape a prison. Whereas in this film, it's people from 1942, prisoner of war, and they're trying to escape. Yeah, them bloody Germans were nasty buggers to our lads in the war. Yeah, but that was years ago, the Bones. They're alright now. You can get some really great war films. It's kind of split into 2 sections. The films made before the 70s, they're a little bit more light-hearted like this one, although they still have serious moments. From the 70s onwards, they're kind of like more horrific. So like post-1970, they focus more on the horror of war, whereas before that, the censors wouldn't allow it, so they were a little bit more light-hearted. Another interesting thing about war films is they seem to bring ginormous casts. And this one's got a great cast. It's interesting watching Steve McQueen because he looks quite a lot like a younger Daniel Craig. Another great thing about this film is the location work, with it being filmed in Germany. You can tell it's in a foreign location with the trees and everything, and like the hills and just like the horizon. You can tell it's filmed in Germany. Hey Phil, is it right about Hitler only had one ball? I don't know, Bones. Did he only have one ball? What happened to the other one? The other ball's on the Albert Hall or something. Is that right, sir? This film's famous for its iconic score as well. However, because it's before the 1970s, although it's a little bit more light than usual war films, there's still quite serious moments where the cast are getting shot and everything. What I like about this film most of all though is, like, although it's got a big cast, all the characters, they all have individual character. So like you get Charles Bronson in, who's frightened of enclosed spaces, so he's terrified of going through the tunnel. You got Donald Pleasence, who's losing his eyesight. You get like little touches like that, so every character you can identify with, and because of this you feel like you care about them more, like you really want them to get out. Otherwise, if there wasn't a lot of character building, you wouldn't be as suspense when they're trying to escape through the tunnel towards the end of the film. But because you like really connect with the characters, you really want them to succeed. It's a well-structured film as well. Although it's getting towards 3 hours, the last 45 minutes isn't set in the prisoner of war camp. You're watching the ones that have escaped to see if they can get out of Germany. So like it's split into sections. You see someone on a train, someone like on water. Steve McQueen's trying to get away on a motorbike that he's captured. So really clever how they did that. Because if it was just 3 hours set in a concentration camp, prisoner of war camp, get a little bit boring, but it's not. And although it's a long film, it actually goes over quite fast. The film's also famous for that great stunt where Steve McQueen on his bike, he drives over like a bank, a hill, to get over this like fencing. Really well done. If that had been done these days, it would have been CGI, so you wouldn't be excited. Because stuff like this was done for real in these days, it creates more excitement. Because, you know, there's a stunt guy doing it. This was the first time I watched this film as well. Like, all the way through, I haven't, like, watched it all. And I was surprised. Like, spoiler alert, but only 3 of them get away. Like, a film called The Great Escape, you think, like, the majority of them get away. But they don't. There's only, like, 3. 3 in real life got away as well. So that was a massive shock. When I was watching it, I didn't realise that they didn't really get away. Just like 3 of them. And like when Steve McQueen gets over the fence, and then there's another fence, I was expecting him like to, on his motorbike, to jump all over these fences. But he gets tangled up. So I thought from that point, hey, they're not getting away, are they? And then there's a really tense scene where like there's some in this German wagon truck, and they drive them to this deserted place and they tell them to get out. There's like a big bunch of them who tried to escape but got captured, so they're like hanging around this field, and then the bloody Germans gun them down with machine guns. I was quite surprised by that. So it was all for naught. All that hard work that they put in, they didn't get away. However, it is very effective. It makes the characters more heroic. Like, they sacrifice themselves. So the film's all about the human condition and teamwork, all pulling together. And it's fascinating how they did it, how they got rid of the soil, got wood to make like the tunnel to crawl through. Really fascinating and interesting that it's based on true events. I think one of the most disturbing things about the film is the actual last scene. It focuses on Steve McQueen's character getting thrown back into the cooler, a room that they lock him in, solitary confinement. Although, like the themes in the background, like a jolly do-do, do-do-do-do-do, underneath it's quite a disturbing scene because it means it was all for naught what they did, and he's thrown back into this cooler place for God knows how long. So a really downbeat ending, actually, that. So I thought this film was brilliant. Really enjoyed it for a film that's nearly 3 hours. Really shot over, and it's one of the best war films that I've seen. So it deserves its classic status. So out of 10, I'd give it 9. 9 out of 10. And good thing Jones, you like it. Great film, Phil. Ain't we better than them Germans at football now? Come on, England. Yeah. Everybody, bye. See you next time. Like, subscribe and share. Bye. Bye.
You pull these strings in your pockets. Out come the pins. Eric, it's good. All you have to